Hey everyone, welcome back to Financial Freedom Friday. This is Nate. It's good to be back again. Today we're going to talk about the difference between being in debt because you have to be in debt and being in debt because you want to be in debt. I know just in particular, debt's gotten kind of a bad name lately, especially if you follow Dave Ramsey and some of the other people who just pretty much say having debt is evil. Get rid of all your debt as quickly as you can, pay it all off. And I do want to say there's a bit of a difference between good debt and bad debt. But there's definitely a freedom in choosing to be for a specific purpose. Like I know we've got a lot of dentists and other professionals as clients, doctors and chiropractors and things like that, who it costs plenty of money to go to graduate from dental school. And very typically you can find $150,000, $200,000 of debt pretty easily just to make it through dental school. But you wouldn't, maybe thinking back, you're like, man, I wish I didn't have the debt, but you wouldn't have called it bad debt because it creates you to be in a position to make quite a bit of money because of that. Dentists are one of the highest paid professions in the country right now, just across the board. So, I mean, and then as well, when you go down further and maybe you borrow money as a dentist to buy another practice, to buy a business, or just in general, borrowing money from the bank to buy, your practice that allows you to earn quite a bit more money than the loan's costing you. So you wouldn't necessarily call that bad debt. It's debt for a purpose. You're only in debt because you want to be. I think it's very important. For me personally, I'm at the point where I'm really only in debt in areas that I want to be, not because I have to be. And there's so much, I'll just be honest, there's a lot of freedom in only being in debt because you want to be, not because you have to be. My problem, though, why I bring this up is just because I talk to a lot of people and that are in retirement programs and various things that lock money up, and it's almost like they feel like they're broke, but yet they're not broke. They feel like they're in all this debt. They've got credit cards and car payments and mortgages, and they feel like all their money's going out of their hand, but yet they do have money. It just happens to be in an IRA or a 401k, and so they have to be in debt because all their money is locked up. And there's a bit of a difference. They'll never get to have that freeing feeling of choosing whether you actually want to be in the debt or just paying it off and having the resources because the money is stuck someplace. And so the freedom's not there. They feel, essentially, I've heard many times, they feel that they're living paycheck to paycheck, but they've got a retirement program. And it's a pretty tough way to live. So what I wanted to bring up was really, maybe just by transitioning how you're building your assets, you can find financial freedom much quicker and get to the point where you have this free feeling that a lot of people who are doing infinite banking are getting to, which is the only debts I'm going to keep are the ones that make sense because I have the power to take them over and pay them off with that because I don't have money locked up. So if you're having these issues and you're stuck in retirement programs and other things, I don't necessarily know if that's the best route to get to financial freedom, especially if you have all this debt and it's a concern for you. You have to be in debt because all your money's locked up, or maybe you're just in debt because you don't have enough income to manage your lifestyle. Both those are bad places. We'd like to get you to the point where you only keep having the debt that it makes sense to have. So there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. We'd love to help you get rid of the debts that don't make any sense and maybe transition or help you if you want to come on board, transition some of how you're building wealth, how you're building assets so that you can actually make that choice instead of just being stuck having to pay the bills because your money can't move for you. So I think it may help you get there sooner to financial freedom, but always remember, if you don't start building your freedom, nobody will do it for you. So let's get to work and we'll see you next week.